So here at the DJs Guru, we've talked a lot about moving heads and gone through beams, spot washes. We haven't really talked about the scaling and why you may need one versus the other. So we're going to go through the Attco Spot 200 today, which is the big boy in the Attco series. It's a 200 watt LED diode, and it actually was something I had to purchase as I got into some bigger events and needed to scale up with something brighter. So we're going to talk about it. We're going to dive in deep, show you some B-roll, have some fun. We're gonna do it right now. What's going on, everybody? Justin Schwartz here, founder of the DJs Guru, coming at you as always from the lovely DJs Guru studio. And today we are talking about the Attco Spot 200 from JMaz Lighting, our good friends over at JMaz. And we're going to tell the story today of someone who finds themselves getting into larger events where they need a more powerful moving head, but maybe they don't want to go and spend $4,000, $5,000 on something that they may not need. So the Attco Spot 200 is a great solution product and something that packs a really big punch in a very affordable price with some really cool features. So we're going to go through all that, but before we do, please consider subscribing to our page here at the DJs Guru. Make sure you check us out at thedjsguru.com. And if you're interested in purchasing these lights, make sure you click the link in the description. Also, if you have any questions, whatever they may be, we're always here to help you. We are building a community on sharing information and helping our community, so please drop those comments below. We're always happy to help. Now, back to the moving heads. So one of the first things I'm going to point out to you is that although this is a super powerful 200 watt LED diode in here, it's actually a very compact size for what it is able to perform. It's about 12 by 16 by 18, and I've had this in a rolling case, and I've actually gotten this into a bag. So depending on what type of vehicle you're using, it's nice to know that you have the ability to get this much power into something smaller. As many of us are scaling, a lot of times the vehicle is behind and we're trying to get as much as we can into a car, a crossover, an SUV, a van, a box truck. You know, it continues to go up. So every piece of gear you have, if it can pack more power in a smaller size, it's always going to be a better value and a better literal fit for a DJ or a mobile entertainer. That's something to keep in mind, and it still has a really cool presence with this big mold here on the top of the moving head, so it looks really good compared to, you know, I have the Aero Wash here, which nice looking light, but you know, it's smaller. So on a totem, it doesn't have the presence that this does have. And you know, presence is something that when you're building a lighting setup does count for something, and it does make a lighting setup look more impressive when you have something that is more symmetrical. You know, if I had a really small moving head on here, even if it was bright, it would kind of look silly, you know? So this looks really good on the truss. So moving on to more of the specs, again, 200 watt LED diode. You have two separate gobo wheels in here, which is really cool. One of them has 8 static gobos. The other has 6 rotating and interchangeable gobos. So yes, you can put customized gobos in here. It also has 8 colors and a separate color wheel as well. 3-facet prism built into here. Really, really high quality optics. Optics are really what basically the light shines through, and the better quality optics that allow it to project, the nicer the light's going to look. So these things that you've heard, like optics, they do matter, and JMaz does use a very high quality optic system within the moving head here. The next thing, and I think the most important thing to kind of look at with this light, is that this has wireless DMX built in. We looked at the battery powered moving head before, and we've done reviews on that. You can check the description here. I'm going to put a link to the Aero Wash and the Aero Spot videos that we've done. You can check those out. Those are battery powered and they're wireless DMX, but they're not as bright. So although they give you all that convenience, they don't give you the power needed. And every one less cable that you have to connect does make a difference. And also, if you're looking to have a really nice, clean setup, wires are always annoying, right? So having the built-in wireless DMX allows you to have so much freedom and flexibility by being able to place these on totems in a vertical sense like this, or even if you're hanging them on a truss, whatever the case may be. Now you don't have to worry about connecting these moving heads with DMX cable, which can be time consuming, costly, annoying, and ugly, because you don't want to have cables in sight. So just imagine if you had 4 of these, and you were doing a larger event and you had them on totems on a dance floor at each corner. Now all you have to do is run a power cable. They come with a nice long PowerCon in power cable. You connect the cable extension and you plug it in, and that's it. And now the lights are going to connect wirelessly, and then whatever mechanism you're using. These do work with the RF radio frequency remote control, which is included, or you can of course connect it to any type of DMX fix system or software that you are using, sound switch, the WMX1 from American DJ, or any type of software from Elation or Shove DJ, and it'll work great. So that wireless DMX, I think, is really something to be excited about, because there's no other moving head company out there right now, as far as name brand companies that we sell and we carry, that have that built in. So this was always a big advantage for me, and why, personally, for our events company, why I decided to go with the Attco Spot 200, because I know every little bit counts. And if I'm speaking to a solo operator out there who's doing everything by themselves, you totally understand one less cable that you have to connect or worry about is going to make a big deal. So wireless DMX built into these, really, really cool, and just overall a really, really solid. I've been using these now for 6 to 8 months on multiple jobs. We're going to show you some really cool B-roll that we have. And they've really impressed me, I have to be quite honest. I bought them specifically for this larger space that we do, and they have not disappointed. All right, so I wanted to demo the wireless DMX, but I did want to go ahead and show you really how simple it was and kind of how it does work. So again, you have built-in JMaz technology, wireless DMX, so that way these lights right now are speaking to each other. As you can see, the light moving around together. I have them in a basic auto mode, and just to kind of give you an idea of just how simple it is, you have the ability here to go ahead and go into the inputs of the light. You go into the signal set here, and then you have your options for either wireless DMX, JMaz, and out, and then where I have it set here, which is JMaz out, which turns this into your master light, now sending signal, and I have it running off of an internal auto mode, program number 2. Right now I have, as you can see, the other one is following it. So very, very easily we zoom in over here, and then you can see the slave in this situation, which again is now receiving wireless DMX. So we went ahead and we went into the signal source mode, signal set mode here. We have it set for wireless DMX. And then the trick here is to then go into DMX address, set it for 001, which means that it's set for this first DMX channel that's being set out. We hit enter, we go back to menu, and now they're following each other and running in master slave through a wireless DMX, no DMX cable. Just think about the possibilities that opens up, where all you have to do is connect a power cable, run it behind your totem or whatever it is, get power signal to this, and away you go. All right, so we talked about scaling, right? And scaling is a business term that just means how are we able to take what we're doing and do it for the masses, or do it in a larger way. And scaling is necessary when it comes to moving heads, when you start to be in bigger rooms. So why or when is it time for you to upgrade and maybe move into something like the Atco 200? Real easily, if you're in rooms where you have 10-foot ceilings, where you're projecting 20 feet, the mini and the medium-sized moving heads are probably fine for you. The 100 to 150 person events, weddings, private events, things like that. That is where you're not going to see a huge difference between an Atco 200 and a 150, which has a 50-watt difference in the LED diode. Now, if we're doing larger spaces like you'll see in the B-roll or you're outdoors, that is where, and this is similar to a compression driver with speakers, but that is where you're going to see the LED power really show its might, because now, because of that additional LED diode brightness, you're able to project farther distances. So without having those distances in front of you, it's really not necessary to go with something like this. So if you're out there asking yourself, do I need to upgrade? The question is, what types of rooms am I doing? What do I want to do or be able to do? And I always say, these are tools. So I don't just have one pair of moving heads. We have multiple different types of tools and types of moving heads, depending on the environment that we're in and the rooms that we're doing. And we think about the convenience, the workflow, everything is relevant when we talk about the tools that we're using. So just something to think about, and a little bit of education on when and why you want to move into a more powerful LED diode. Before we close that out, I want to show you some B-roll, some in real life, in the wild type stuff. So let's check it out, okay? All right, everybody, so what do you think about that B-roll from some of our events? Of course, part of what we do here at the DJs Guru is we use the stuff that we also market and sell for, so we really do have our hands on it and can tell you that it works. We're doing large-scale events with this stuff. We're doing our thing, and it's a great product, so definitely consider checking it out. We have a link in the description, so make sure if you're looking to make a purchase, you click that link. If you have any questions, please make sure you drop the comments down below. Please consider subscribing here at the DJs Guru. Ton of more content coming, exclusive stuff. We are looking, again, to build a community around sharing information. So please be part of our family here, and we look forward to the next one. Thank you so much for watching this. We hope you enjoyed it as much as we enjoyed making it. And as I always like to say, we'll see you on the flip side. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.